Pass the turkey, baby. It's Thanksgiving. It is Thanksgiving. And oh my God, we got a lot of reasons to be thankful. Not sure how many New York Jets reasons we have, but we coming up with a list. We've checked it twice. I have 5. Boy Green has 5, and we're gonna come up with some reasons. But in all seriousness, I hope you're having a great time with your family, friends, football. Come on now, the triple F, the Holy Trinity, if you will. This is a fantastic time. And Stranger Things came out last night. So, we got a lot of content to enjoy. We are live. It is Boy Green meets Wudi.
Can you guys help us get a jet chant here? Yeah, going.
Oh.
Okay, right. Come on in.
Yeah.
Okay, go! J-E-T-S, Jets! Let's go! J-E-T-S, Jets! Let's go! There you go, Woody!
Third Party Thursday.
Chris joining us here on the program with a capital P here on the program.
Jake Asman, come on down. How you doing, good sir?
Wow, what an intro. I mean, Boy Green is known for having the intro, but Wudi, that was unreal, man. Thanks for the kind words, son.
We are men of many names.
My favorite Austrian Jets fan right there, baby.
Boy Green
meets Wudi. Welcome to another episode of Boy Green Meets Wudi. It is your boy James Wudi. You already know we are Wudi, rocking everywhere. Unfortunately, the turkey is not ready. The turkey's not rocking nowhere right now. It is in the oven. Say what you will, but you know what is ready? Cold beers. Cold beers always ready. All right, here we go. It's a holiday edition. So right there, we got the boy who became king, still rocking a beard. It's just a little smaller, but you already know it's not about the size. It's about how you use it. Come on now, Mr. Paul Esden Jr. How are you doing, my good sir?
A lot less beard. My head's lighter. I'm able to jostle it around in other directions. Not sure if you saw the dance moves there. So, it's a new world. But you know what? I'm a man of my word. And just like my beard, the Jets will rebuild. We will be better, bigger, faster, stronger, more thick, more thorough.
I don't know if we're still applying words to the Jets.
Well, nonetheless, we'll be back, baby. So appreciate you, Woodster, and it's a blessing to be able to spend this Thanksgiving with you. What am I thankful for? For having the best podcast partner in the game, baby. So power on.
Well, I definitely don't know how you can have that when I clearly have the best podcast partner in the game. Come on now. I'm definitely very thankful. Thankful for all you guys in the comments. Come on now. Just a lot of love to be had. And a lot of love to be shared, even in these tough times as a Jet fan, which is seemingly never ending. It's still worth taking a step back and looking at what we're appreciative of, why we still get up and rock the green. So yeah, with that being said, I know I got a list. I checked it twice. You got a list. Who's naughty or nice? Maybe that's a different holiday. But, let's, I guess we'll do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That's it. And for folks, you guys feel free to share yours in the comment section. We'd love to see them. Basically, what we're breaking down is the top 5 things we're thankful for as Jet fans. And again, I'm sure as we see with these lists, I have no idea what Wudi wrote down. He has no idea what I wrote down. But hopefully it resonates with a lot of you out there. And there's a lot of interpretations of things you can be thankful for. And, well, we about to get creative. So, with that being said, I'll start off the list here, Woodster. So, hit it, voice guy in the back.
Number 5.
Before I can be thankful for what's here in the present and what's here in the future, I need to be thankful for the past. And what I'm thankful for is Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner. I'm going to be honest. It's been weird seeing blue and white and blue on Sauce Gardner. Quinnen Williams, watching Monday Night Football, watching German football, and seeing these guys in different places. It's bizarre. And to be honest, a little piece of me dies every time I see him. But you know what? I'm thankful for what they brought. Quentin Williams was the second longest tenured player on the Jets, and as I always reminded Woody, Thomas Hennessy, our long snapper, was number one. And for Sauce, the memories, while short, only being here just a handful of years before he got his new deal, to have the defensive rookie of the year and offensive in the same year. We still have Garrett, thank God. But to have the defensive rookie of the year, to have a 2-time All-Pro, to have a great nickname, to be a face of the league in a lot of respects for a period of time as one of the best defensive players in the game, which was fun. And Quentin, obviously a former first-team All-Pro. It's cool. It was cool. And so I'm thankful for that. I get that it's over with the Jets. And for a lot of you out there in the universe, as soon as they're wearing a different colored jersey, you don't give a shit about them anymore. But I'll tell you this. As I see him with Dallas, I'm rooting for Quentin's success. When I see Sauce with the Colts, I'm rooting for their success as long as they're not playing the Jets. And sure, if they lose, I'm like, sweet, better draft pick. That's sort of what I say now with the Jets, is I root for wins, but I rationalize and say, that worked out okay. That's the same way I feel about the others. So again, before I can be thankful for the present, before I can be thankful for the future, I think you have to honor the past. And I'm very thankful that we got to have some pretty badass memories with Sauce and Quentin during their times here as Jets.
Damn, that was very beautifully, very eloquently put. As you already know, I have a lot of love, a lot of jerseys for both of those guys. I only have like 6 total, but I have 2 each for Sauce and Quentin. Quentin's about to play later today, the Chiefs. Come on now. So I'll definitely be rooting for our guy. I think they're undefeated since he became a Cowboy as well. Right. So kudos to him. That's what he deserves. He deserves to be on a winning team, be in a winning franchise. Come on now. I'm trying to see the Jets play the Cowboys in the Super Bowl now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need Quentin to have the success that he deserves. Sauce also, but I gotta completely agree with everything you said. Rooting for Sauce, rooting for Quentin. Obviously can't see Sauce in the Super Bowl because we trying to take that AFC. But for Quentin, dominate the NFC, dominate it. Treat the NFC like I be treating KFC. All right, do your thing, and we'll see you down the line. Number guy in the back, hit me with it.
Number 5.
This one, I don't know how many people are gonna be thanking this man this Thanksgiving. But I need to thank him, and I like how Boy Green, he did it, before we can look at the, present and the future, let's look at the past. I didn't organize my list as such. It's just, people I'm most thankful for to people I'm least. So of the people I'm going to name, I'm the least thankful for this person. But I think he deserves some thanks, because if I had to sit through 2 years of fans believing in Justin Fields, I don't know what my heart, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what would have happened to my heart. But the fact that he was able to prove that he was so trash, like so quickly, I have to be thankful for Justin Fields, because that was, as you recall, Boy Green, you remember that was like my fear, that he was going to be like good enough where you would see games like the Steelers game like more than once, and you would see some bad games. And then you would have the fan base confused, like, oh, no, like, we can see games like the Steelers game all the time. And, come on, like, let's. But I knew that wasn't possible. Deep down inside, Justin knows that that's not possible. And I'm just so relieved that he showed within like 7 games that he is not at all the answer, because now there's no fog. We have that clear vision of, okay, what are we doing at quarterback? It is not Justin Fields. Is it Kyler Murray? It better not be Mac Jones. I'm going to tell you that right now. Okay, I'm warning you. Just got to warn you guys about Justin Fields. I'm warning you right now about Mac Jones. All right, Kyler Murray, my guy Fernando. Okay, Ty Simpson, one of these guys. But I thank Justin Fields for being atrocious.
I have to tell you, again, we don't know what is on each other's list. That threw me for a loop. I'm going to be honest, but that's not exactly how I saw this list going. But I'll tell you this: I said it to you before the year, Woody. I want conviction, whether good or bad. I preferred good, but good or bad, that we just knew one way or the other. Oh, clearly Justin Fields is unequivocally the guy. Let's build around him. Or how you've described that Justin Fields is clearly not the guy, and we need to move forward. The worst place you could be in the middle is not knowing the answer to that question. Safe to say, Jets know the answer to that question, and unavailable. So excellent there. Depressing on Thanksgiving for that in such a poetic way for Fields, but nonetheless, that is it. Number guy in the back.
Number 4.
This is one of the most overlooked, unheralded things in the National Football League. But for the Jets, it's something to be thankful for. And this was risky. This was, dare I say, a little dangerous. It was hiring Chris Banjo, a guy who, quite frankly, you look at those Instagram workout videos, he looks like he could be suiting up for the Jets right now. And look at that roster. They may need him. Chris Banjo has been arguably the best special teams coordinator in the league. He's never been a special teams coordinator before. He was an assistant in Denver. He had a wonderful long career, 10 years in the league. Immediately jumps into coaching. He's an assistant for 2 years, and boom, immediately coordinator. And we have questions about Steve Wilkes. Some of us have questions about Tanner Angstrand. But Chris Banjo, there's no question. He has been spectacular. His players have been spectacular, which I think he deserves a lot of credit for. Isaiah Williams, Kene Nwanu, Nick Folk, Austin McNamara. Like this guy, Rich Cimini wrote this piece a bunch of months ago and said that Austin McNamara had tried out for 22 of the 32 teams and they all rejected him. No. And he did all these workouts and everything and just nothing. And the only reason the Jets discovered him, and shout out to Rich for having this nugget, sometimes across the year, there's these kicking, punting, sort of combines where teams can fly in if they want to and sort of get a look at who the best kickers and punters are that are free agents of the world. And one of the Jets special teams assistant, it wasn't Chris Banjo, but one of his assistants went to this thing and went, whoa, who the hell is Austin McNamara? And he came rushing back on a private jet and said, Banjo, team, you guys got to sign this guy. And they're like, all right, let's give this kid a shot. And McNamara has been terrific. Now, I'm sure that falls a little bit on deaf ears in the middle of a 2-9 season for the Jets, but special teams on lock. Chris Banjo is a wonderful coach, and he's been doing it at every level from gunners, Quantez Stiggers, give a shout out to him, whether it's been returners, kicker, punter, all of it. I'm thankful that we at least have that on lock. I don't know what else we have on lock, but I know that we have that on lock. So a third of the game, lock that in.
Hey, come on now. That's a fantastic answer. I'm like, while you were speaking, you can't see my feet right now. I was kicking myself talking about, damn, why didn't I put that on my list? Because that is a perfect reason to be thankful. That unit, in my opinion, is best in the league. You just named all the different levels and how they are so elite. The gunners elite, the returners elite. You want to say, oh, that's tough to look at a 2-9. Without that unit, you know what I'm saying? We won a 10. We actually could be, you know what I'm saying? It's that's how special this unit has been for us. And you can only imagine with a good team, how much they can turn the tide by having these returns. Sometimes for a touchdown, sometimes you start at the 50-yard line. But that's a huge difference than starting at the 20-yard line. Having a kicker who hasn't even missed a kick this season, what that does for your confidence, driving down the field and, being able to know, hey, if we don't get this, we still got this guy. He's good for 3, So, special teams cannot get enough praise. Fantastic. Now that I'm thinking about it, they might even be low on your list. I mean, I know they're not on mine at all. So, I can't – who am I to judge? But, yeah, they deserve a lot of thanks. So, they definitely deserve a lot of thanks. Matter of fact, cheers to the special team. Number guy in the back. Hit me. Come on now. Put down that stuffing and hit me with that number. Come on now.
Number 4.
Hey, this Damn, I'm not gonna lie. After your masterful number 4, this makes my number 4 look like shit because they're not actually a complete unit. They're not a complete unit, but it does bring me what's the word? Comfort at night. You know, I always be having those, trouble sleeping, night terrors, talking about, oh my god, they're gonna trade Brees. Oh, like all the different things that could happen. But the offensive line, like the state of the offensive line right now, I feel really good about. And that's what I have. I have offensive line, right? Membu is my guy. Olu, not as good as Membu, but still my guy. Tippmann, great. Is he the center moving forward? I don't know. Is he a guard moving forward? I don't know. Then we got Simpson, and then we got to figure out the rest of the interior long term. But that's a really, really good foundation for a team that I do think, for all the comparisons to the Lions, oh, Dan Campbell did this. Oh, he went 3-30. The one thing that is clear that, the Lions have done and Aaron Glenn is trying to do is win this game via the trenches. On both sides, I would believe. I know Quinnen Williams, that kind of sounds, contradictory, but they were bringing in defensive tackles, and then of course with the haul we got for Quinnen, who knows what's going to happen to the defensive line moving forward. But offensive line, they're trying to build that, and as a result, we've seen Brees's most successful rushing season. Yep, this is his 3rd season hitting 1,000 scrimmage yards, but he was doing that by damn near being a wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? Like he was out here leading the whole league in catches from a running back. Like he was doing all that. Now he's let CMC hold that, and he's on pace for his first 1,000-yard season. So the offensive line moving forward, you're thinking about the development of Fernando if he's here, or Ty Simpson if he's here, or even just luring sounds so evil, but like bringing in a free agent QB like Kyler Murray or somebody, like knowing that they'll have protection is a huge plus. So that offensive line and where it's at, the youth of it, the camaraderie, knowing that they're only going to get better, no matter who they plug in for that offensive tier, they're going to get better, and that is a huge reason to be thankful.
Hey, number guy, take another bite out of your turducken for a second. I just want to give a quick shout out. No matter where you're watching this, especially on YouTube, like the video at Take Flight Talk at BoyGreen25. I'm thankful when you like the gosh darn video, you gosh darn stingy bastards out there. Like the video, it's right there for Pete's sake. It's a free way to contribute, whether that's at BoyGreen25 or at Take Flight Talk. But speaking of stingy,
Number three,
Lord, I am so thankful to the Kansas City Chiefs for being so stingy and not willing to give up that 3rd-round pick for Brees Hall. Thank you. Because sometimes the best move is the move you don't make. And apparently, the line was drawn in the sand. Hey, Chiefs, you give us a 3rd-round pick right now. We'll ship you Brees, first class. And the Chiefs went, oh, hell no. 4th-round pick? Jets like, 3rd-round pick. 4th-round pick. 3rd-round pick. 4th, 3rd. Staring contest, awkward, deadline passed. As a matter of fact, I just tried to make a fantasy trade last night, and I went to go click it, and went deadline passed. I'm like, what the? I'm like, I missed it. And so I'm glad the Chiefs must have done that same thing. Click. Ah, damn, it passed. I'm so thankful. You just talked about earlier, Woody, you joked, oh boy, how many wins would they have with the special teams unit if it was this way, that way? How many wins would they have without Brees Hall? I mean, throwing the ball, running the ball, catching the ball. Well, hopefully he tries out some new positions because we could use it. I mean, again, there's pebbles that go in the pond and there's ripple effects from it. And sometimes expected ripples, sometimes unexpected ripples. There's all kinds of things that can happen. It seems like the Jets have completely changed their stance. That in an early part of the year, a lot of us, not Woody, but a lot of us sort of went, well, this is probably Brees Hall's final run. Maybe he gets traded at the deadline. Maybe this happens. And all of a sudden they don't trade him. They're like, you know what? This Brees guy, not bad. Maybe we should keep him. And now all of a sudden there's talk. Rich Cimini says that Brees is open to it, a potential extension around this money. Would that be possible? And now the conversations are starting to bubble, even if it's not happening in the middle of the season. That could happen in the offseason before free agency, which I think is exciting for a veteran quarterback, young quarterback, any quarterback that's playing to have Brees. And that'd be magnificent. We as Jet fans overrate talent all the time. And while Braylon Allen was a lot of fun before he got hurt, and Isaiah Davis has had flashes this season, those folks aren't Brees Hall. And I'd rather have more options than less. And so I'm thankful for those stingy Chiefs Kingdom bastards who apparently are, they don't think a third-round pick could be worth a Super Bowl title. And I think Brees Hall could have had a crazy impact on the Chiefs. We'll never know, because they're like, a third-round pick's too important. I think they're going to be, when we get to regret Christmas time, what was on that list of regrets, not trading for Brees, I think is going to be high on that Chiefs list. Hell, they might have needed that today against Quinnen Williams and company. That might have came in handy, but sorry. You snooze, you lose. And I think that's not only bad for the Chiefs, I think it's great for the Jets that they're getting a second chance. Quite frankly, that's how I view it, a second chance of going, damn. Like, if you trade Brees Hall and see him blow it with the Chiefs, like, shit, should we have kept that guy? Now you didn't trade him, and you're seeing him do those things on your team, and you're like, damn, maybe we should keep this guy. And they had these bonus benefit of months to consider what Brees Hall looks like as a focal point of your offense. And I think, quite frankly, they could do even more. The fact that he had 75 yards receiving as a running back against the Ravens, and that was as many receiving yards he had over the last 5 weeks combined, tells you that you should be utilizing Brees even more. And he's on pace for that career year, Woody said earlier. And despite the inconsistent usage. So I'm super thankful for the Chiefs, and thus the Jets getting the second opportunity. And hashtag # pay Brees.
I'm not gonna lie. If Brees was a Chief, my fantasy team would be guaranteed a championship right now. Like, I mean, come on now. You would be looking like Bijan Robinson right now. Yeah, as you guys already know, there is no limit to the amount of positive things I can say about Brees Hall. You should know by reading the title, you already know that Brees Hall is on my list. But he's not. It's not his time yet. So I'm gonna let Boy Green. He said it. He said it very well. Did a fantastic job of representing our guy. I got a little more to add to that in a little bit, but number guy. We got the number 3 on the Woody list.
Number 3.
Boy Green, it's very interesting, like when you see how Boy Green and I approach these lists, because as you guys know, we don't talk to each other. This is a surprise for both of us, but just seeing how our minds work. But he identified a coach that he felt like was doing a fantastic job, broke down why he's been doing a fantastic job, and Chris Banjo, he definitely deserves his kudos. I kind of did a similar thing with the regime. I picked somebody from the regime, and I said, you know what? I'm thankful for this dude. I like him. But he's not a coach. Not a coach. Okay, he is the general manager, Mr. Darren Muji. I have a lot of respect for this GM. I feel like in his short time as the Jets GM, he has shown that he's willing to do anything. Which Joe Douglas, he had his, rigid structure and all that stuff. But what he really was, summarized the 5 or so years, he was a bargain bin diver, man. He had the scuba gear on and was talking about, hey, you want Micah Parsons? We got Micah Parsons at home. Carl Lawson, you want Quinn Nelson? We got Quinn Nelson at home. Laken Tomlinson, he has had all these bargain bin dudes that never worked out. And, he would give them deal. Like, both of those guys got pretty big deals from Joe Douglas. Had the one draft class, and there was, I would say, once you got the later rounds, I can't even give him the credit for like a guy like Jamian Sherwood or Michael Carter II. That's Saleh. He drafted 2 safeties, and Saleh turned 1 and 2 a linebacker, and then turn the other one into a nickel corner. Like Joe Douglas foresaw that. Come on now. So Darren Muji, what he's shown in this short period of time, he's willing to dole out the big contracts, which Joe Douglas, it took him 4 years to do. He paid Garrett, bang bang. He paid Sauce. He paid his first contract was Jamie Sherwood, right? So he has no problem shelling out dollars. He also has no problem giving up late round picks for guys who could, turn it around. And he did that. Jawan Briggs, who's still making plays every week on the defensive line. Jarvis Brownlee quickly became a fan favorite on the team, late round pick. He also, Darren Muji, proved that he's not afraid to get rid of players for a draft haul. And of course, I mean, I'm still, going to meetings to recover from the loss of Quentin Williams and Sauce Gardner, but you cannot argue with the haul that was acquired, from, and I'll throw Michael Carter II, who I just mentioned, in there too. And then, of course, now we got John Minchie, who I had to pull out the Shaq meme. I wasn't familiar with this game. AD Mitchell out here, I still love his potential. So, like, his ability to pretty much do anything we need. How can we be upset with him right now? I feel like if we're going to talk about, like Justin Fields or like some of the decisions, I feel like Aaron Glenn is clearly making, personnel decisions. But in terms of the back end of that, like, for example, Justin Fields, he's not good, but it's not a huge albatross. Yes, is it, dead cap next year? Yes, but it's not, Aaron Rodgers level dead cap. Like, we did not, torpedo ourselves or shoot ourselves in the foot. So I feel like Darren Muji has shown in all the different mindsets behind being a GM, whether you want to be aggressive, whether you want to sign homegrown talent, whether you want to poach, low-level people from a different organization. If you want to flip players into picks, he has shown that he's able to do all of that at a high ability. I already put him in a higher class than Joe Douglas. I'm thankful for Darren Muji.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'll carry a little bit of that in a different light. Sound guy?
For two.
Thank you. A thing I'm thankful for here, Wudi, was a Darren Muji decision. I'm going to get a little bit more specifics and highlight permanent marker, one of those. And that was making Garrett Wilson untouchable at the NFL trade deadline. And that there are moves, to your point, right? Sauce, a very talented player. Hey, there was a price. Quentin Williams, there was a price. $1 Million Man cocks his head back. Everybody's got a price. It's good to know that Muji said, well, everybody but Garrett Wilson has a price. I'm sorry, he's not on the menu. And I think I've used sort of this analogy before that, like, when you're on a ship, there's people you just got to say, hey, you're my ride or die, and we'll figure out whether that's good or bad. To me, I think, with all due respect to Sauce Gardner, who, if we're being honest, has achieved more individual success than Garrett, right? He's been a two-time first-team All-Pro. Garrett Wilson has been a Pro Bowler. He hasn't been anything in terms of those individual accolades. But if you look beyond that, though, Garrett Wilson's impact on your young quarterback, on your veteran quarterback, both, which I believe the Jets are going to explore both quarters in 2026. They will have a guy, hopefully, for the future, while also having a guy for the now. Garrett Wilson directly impacts that person's success level with what he's able to do. He affects the success level of a John Mechie eventually, an Adonai Mitchell. I would still want another receiver thrown into that mix. Mason Taylor, Breece Hall. Garrett Wilson's presence on the field opens up things for others. So I think there are direct correlations to what Garrett Wilson brings to the table. And while there will be people that debate out in the universe, top 5 highest paid receiver, does he fit that category for other people? To me, I love the forethought from Muji to say, hey, and I'm sure they would have gotten some crazy offers. And apparently they got some crazy calls for Garrett Wilson. Once they saw Sauce and Quentin, they said, is everybody available? Bring. And Muji like, no. hangs up the phone. To me, I am so thankful for that. I'm thankful for that because I have a Garrett Wilson number 5 jersey in my closet along with a Garrett Wilson 17 jersey, and to have both those jerseys mean nothing in a matter of months would have been awful. So I'm thankful for that. Although Fanatics apparently has a wonderful jersey return program, I'm thankful I won't have to use that Garrett stays on the team. But I just think it's going to have such a positive impact. This is an offensive league. Jets fans wouldn't know that because the 21st century has been a lot of no offense. But I think if we have a chance to do offensive things, not offensive things, offensive things, Garrett Wilson being a part of that solution, I think is good news for the Jets.
I think it's fantastic news. And I love Garrett Wilson. I love that he's a Jet. And come on, let's just keep it rolling. Sound guy.
Number 2.
The 2022 draft class is listed as my number 2. And, I could have – that would have been my whole list right there if I just named all of them individually. So that I had to just group them together. I think they really are a magical draft class.
Oh, that was the 2022 draft class.
Yes, here it is. I'm saying, pour it up, drink it up. Because for all of the criticism that I just laid on JD, this class, bought him some time. And another thing is, when you look ahead and you talk about how the Jets currently have 2 first-rounders and 3 first-rounders, the fact that they are still eating off the previous time they had 3 first-rounders, I think that's a huge – plus that a lot of teams in this situation, because this is such a rarity to have this happen in the NFL, that you're not eating off of nothing else. Like usually your team is barren, but this roster, and I've been trying to say it since last year, the roster is not barren. There's plenty of talent to be had, and even how they used the talent of the 2022 draft class. Sauce, they flipped for picks. Like that was a great usage of the talent. Of course, I would have loved to see him on the field, but now we're about to see a couple other guys on the field, including A.D. Mitchell, right? A.D. Mitchell, and now 2 other guys on the field. So that's a huge plus. The next person you just said, Garrett Wilson. A dynamic receiver, a fantastic receiver. I'm so mad that Justin Fields injured my guy, and now, he can't compete with Mike Evans for the 1,000-yard seasons. The fact, we all loved watching him get it done with Tim Boyle, who, everybody, all the bums out there, he was doing so much work with all of them. That's our guy. And now, hopefully, finally, he will be with somebody consistent, for the duration of his contract. And you don't want to throw that away. That is super, super valuable. And he does open up the field for Mason Taylor, for John Mechie, for AD, for Brees, who's the next person I want to shout out. Brees has been the lifeblood of this team. Like you said, Boy Green, throwing TDs, catching TDs, running TDs. Come on now. We got to get him playing corner. Maybe he can end the pick drought because Lord knows, the guys back there are dropping opportunities left and right. There's not enough positive things I can say about Brees. Obviously, the fumble, it was tough. It was tough on him. He's had fumbles this season, but last week specifically was tough on him. But it made me feel really good that AG was right there, physically consoling our guy. That leads me to believe that he will be here next year. That means the human element. That means something to Brees to have that physical embrace. AG clearly cares enough. I don't think Brees Halls grow on trees. He's a rarity in this league. And this is what we always say about Garrett. But for some reason, no one ever says it about Brees. Besides me, I've been saying it. When you guys talk about trading him, we still haven't seen a ceiling. Even right now,
sure,
we have not seen a ceiling. Mm-hmm. So I really think let's get that offensive line, solidify that interior, get that QB, And we can see, a Garrett we've never seen. We can see a Brees we've never seen. And if we're seeing that, then I guarantee you we're going to see a Mason we've never seen. So that draft class, I mean, going down the line, Jermaine, I want him to get extended as well. But, that whole class, I feel like deserves their respect. I'm immensely thankful for them. And I never thought, I think if we were taking bets, who would be the first one gone from the class? I think we were all going to talk about Michael Clemens, but this dude is still taking snaps in the Gotham Green while Sauce is somewhere else. But, it is what it is. I'm still super thankful for their contributions, both at One Jets Drive and from afar.
Cheers. As someone who just lost his beard to a bet, I won't be joining any of your bets. If I was a betting man for who could go first or last, I should probably sit this one out. So, coach, sit that one out. Let's go to it. Let's get
number one.
Number one, or as SpongeBob would like to say, the Smitty Werbin Jaeger Man Jensen. Number one.
Hey.
Number one.
Yes.
Let's hit that number one on the list. I appreciate you guys with that pop culture reference. Okay, that's what happens. Okay, that's what happens here on the program. It's a number one that actually already graced the list earlier, but for Wudi, I'm going to give it that that upgrade button. You see the meme, the boom, upgrade, boom. Okay, it's the same thing, but I just want to hit that upgrade button. The offensive line. Come on, man. That to me is the number one thing to be thankful for in my mind, and that's how I built this list. They were number one, and let's figure out everybody else because. Number one, unequivocally, the reason why I thought I had optimism heading into the season about, they could do this, the Jets could do this, is because I'm like, damn, man, this offensive line, the upside is there. Everyone at the start of the season was 27 or younger on this offensive line. And the only one that pushed the edge up, quite frankly, was John Simpson. So if you removed him, the number was even less, and everyone with the upside. And here's the thing, right? So let's talk about this offensive line for a second. Some of the wonderful things Wudi has already said. Armand Membu looks like a superstar. So right tackle, awesome. Olu Muiwa-Fashanu. Okay, he's at left tackle. Again, the upside we thought was higher than we've seen, but plenty of time left to see what else that can be. But let's just put him there, okay? You have Joe Tippmann, who I feel great about. Guard, center, your mama, my mama. I don't give a shit where you play, buddy. You play somewhere. I don't know what position. I just know you're a football player. Good enough for me. Okay. He's pretty good there. And then, so what do we have to figure out? The interior, I don't want to make light of Darren Muji's job, but from history, it says finding a guard is a lot easier. You can find them in mid rounds. You can find starting guards in free agency. John Simpson's a perfect example. They scooped this guy up off the crap heap from Baltimore and just dust him off, said, yeah, you could play guard, and he's been spectacular. Is there another John Simpson out there in the universe? Is John Simpson the one they bring back? Josh Myers, do they have any interest in that as a depth piece maybe? Do they just draft a guy? They've got 1 million picks, so they can find a guard that way. I feel so comfortable with what this offensive line is, and there's big decisions to come. ABT's a free agent. John Simpson's a free agent. Josh Myers is a free agent. Tippmann, again, not a free agent yet, but he only has 1 year left on his deal, so you're going to have to make a decision on his money. Maybe they sign him in the offseason. Maybe that's a forward-thinking move of he's your center, he's your guard, and you get ahead of that. But I like that the bookend tackles are the hardest things to find in the universe, and the Jets have 2 of them that are under the age of 23. That is and they're both on rookie deals, so you don't have to pay them bupkis, which means you have bonus money to play around with the rest of the roster until you have to pay those guys. So to me, I am so thankful for the offensive line. And this is why Connor Hughes has said this, NFL Insider for SOY several times. He's been asked, how good of a position are the Jets in terms of the environment for a young quarterback coming in? Where do you see them? Connor Hughes has been asked on a variety of shows, Jets Mailbag, Jets Final Drive and things of that nature. And he has said he believes the Jets are the best of any team, which, again, you don't normally say this with quarterback development, but they're in the best position of any team with the offensive line, with Garrett Wilson, with Breece Hall, with Mason Taylor saying, look at this bevy of talent, and they've got money to add to this group. This is a wonderful place for a quarterback to develop, and I haven't heard that from anybody at any time, maybe in history. So the offensive line to me is absolutely number one, and the holes that exist with the questions on the interior, I think that's a relatively easy thing to replace, and you can figure it out. So I am so thankful for the present and, quite frankly, the future of this group for whoever the hell is playing quarterback for the Jets in 2026 and beyond.
Well, I love that endorsement because, as I said, when I mentioned the O-line going after your special teams, I felt incomplete. And, we talked about it. Both of us talked about it. Still those holes, how are they going to be filled? Obviously, special teams, if we couldn't, we would just put it in some saran wrap and exactly how it is right now. We is moving on to next year. But the offensive line, unfortunately, we cannot do the same. But like you just said, there's a lot of options. There's a lot of options. Just like QB, like I'm not extremely worried about QB. I feel like there are a lot of options. And with O-line, I feel like there are a lot of options. So they just got to make the decisions that align, and we might. I'll leave it at we might.
Okay.
But let's number guy, hit me with it.
Number 1.
The last thank you of the day. Thanksgiving Thursday, this Thanksgiving edition of Boy Green Meets Wudi. The last thank you goes to the Jets fans. Everybody watching this show right now. All right. I don't think Smitty Warman, Jaegerman Jensen is watching, but everybody that is watching, everybody that is showing love on the different channels, every day riding with us. I mean, the highlight of this season for me, I have no idea what number 2 on my list is, but I know number 1 without question was going to MetLife Stadium for the Cowboys game and just chilling with my squad, okay, eating delicious food, Chef Kevin Gilbert, and just, chilling, Lou B, DJ Gina Turner, Willie Beeman. I mean, I can't even name everybody because it were so many people. Literally every single time I turned around, it was somebody new, amazing, just talking Jets, enjoying, each other. And like I feel like that's become a part of the experience, is, the incredible people that I've met along the way. So especially in a season where we're not winning, there's not a lot of positivity. We kind of all disagree on, how best to save this burning ship, where we can actually find solace is in each other, in the fact that, we all have the same goal. We all want to get to that Jets Super Bowl parade. If they win, we're going to be in that parade acting a fool. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were all in agreement, even just this past Thursday. Like, if they beat the Patriots, like Boyer was like, I'm going to be insufferable. And like, that's the energy we were on. So that energy, that camaraderie, how we all feel, that's not how every fan base is built, but that is how we're built. And that's, when Aaron Glenn says some, throwaway lines like we're the New York Jets and we're built for that shit, like that is the shit that, we can hold on to and resonate with. So that is definitely the number one thing that I'm thankful for are the fans. And that's why I try so hard to tell you guys the truth in advance so that you're not hurt. You're not surprised when Justin Fields sucks ass, So, in that same vein, let me just tell you right now, Mac Jones is not him. Okay, please. He's not him. But that's I didn't mean to ruin the moment, but Mac Jones is not him.
No, I appreciate those warnings. I'm sure we'll remember that in the future. The Wudi truthers out there that say, "Oh, Wudi's always telling the truth, always spitting the gospel." I see that in the comment section. I see you people. Okay, I see you out there, and he needs it. So thank you for that support, Wudi. And I think we've told this to people, but to reiterate it, there is no one that cared more about the success of that event than James Wudi for the success of that Jets Cowboys event. Countless nights that no one will ever know about. That's the integrity of it. That people will have no idea, but me and you know. The phone calls, the debates, the healthy debates of like, we need to push this, we need to push this, we need to push this. for the event. We wanted it to be perfect, and nothing ever is. But that's the bar. That's the bar for us, for the crazy parking thing at the beginning, being in a pit hole to like calling an audible and figuring out this and everything. No matter what went wrong, we had answers for it. And just to hear the number one thing from fans of the people who went, had a spectacular time, super important. And then the people went, damn, I missed out on that. When they're seeing the pictures, when they're seeing the videos, and they're telling me like, damn, are you doing that again? I'm like, every damn year is my plan. And that's our plan. And so that's been an absolutely humbling thing to hear, that people are like, well, I can't make that mistake again. I got to make the next one. And we plan on doing it. So, folks, we'll have more out. I'm sure a lot of you saw the pictures and videos from the event. We're actually working on some other stuff behind the scenes, so you guys will be able to catch. It's almost going to be, quite frankly, an unintentional trailer for future events. Like, what is it all about? Well, watch a video. It explains itself. No narration necessary. No professional voice guys saying, and this is what happened. You just watch it. The eye in the sky do not lie. The tape speaks for itself. And I am so proud of what we're able to do, but not satisfied, quite frankly, because I'm going to keep wanting to set it higher. Here at Thanksgiving, right? Thanksgiving dinner table. What are we talking about? Me and my pop were talking about, we got to do this at the event next year. We got to do this at the event. These are the conversations that's happening at that table out there. I took a quick TO. I'm like, folks, whoa, Boy Green meets Wudi. Okay. And that's what we're doing right now. So I'm glad that you gave a shout out to the fans. The fans absolutely deserve it. It's so cool, and all the evolutions, right? We've had Boy Green Daily forever, and then Boy Green Meets Woody's become a new fabric, relatively new fabric over the last couple of years of this being a thing, and now the tailgate makes it even more real. So shout out to all the fans out there. I hope you guys all have a absolutely happy Thanksgiving. Happy holidays, safe travels both ways. If people are still traveling and listening to the show on the road, getting there for different Thanksgivings. I've seen the 4 Christmases where people have to hit multiple family homes, so if anyone's traveling out there or traveling back, listening to this perhaps after the fact, nonetheless, from both me and Wudi, we appreciate you guys so much. And I can't wait for the next event. So that'll be, spoiler alert, I know it's on the 2026 Wudi #1 thankful thing. Might be the tailgate next year. So can't wait. It's going to be amazing.
Absolutely. Nothing but love and appreciation, a deep love and appreciation for each one of you. Enjoy your time today. That's what I said before. I think it was a cold open, family, friends, football. It's a fantastic day to enjoy your food. I know there's a lot of I feel like Thanksgiving food is super polarizing. Like some people love certain things that people are like, oh, that's disgusting. So whatever your favorite dish is, it's your favorite for a reason, and it's about to be out there on that table. I hope you enjoy it. All right, before somebody gets to it first. So whatever it is, get there. Use whatever tricks you gotta use to be first in line.
I'll just say this, actually. I'll add one more thing to what Wudi just said. My fiance, sort of slaps me on the nose with like a newspaper, like a dog. And one of the lessons she tells me that I don't listen to is don't yuck someone's yum. So if someone likes something, I shouldn't just say like, hey, man, that's disgusting. And for no reason, just spew my opinion all over the place. She says, don't yuck someone's yum. And I'm like, oh, I understand. But because Wudi just brought all that up, the cranberry sauce, disgusting. Nasty.
Damn, what? How did the green bean? If anything, I was reiterating what Tatiana was saying. Yeah. Like, no,
green bean casserole, disgusting.
Oh my god! Now you are here. No. I can't. No, we can't go out on this. We can't go out on this on you just yucking everybody's yum out here. Chill. All right, cranberry sauce. I can't lie. It's not my cup of tea. It's not my cup of tea, but it's a Thanksgiving staple. A lot of people love it. It is a staple. Yeah, come on now. No. Come on now. It's a staple. If I had a stapler right here, I would be shooting it right at the camera. All right. It's a Thanksgiving staple. So that's what I'm saying. Enjoy your staple. Don't let Boy Green tell you what is not good or what's good and not good. All right. You enjoy your food. You enjoy it your way. All right. And we'll be back here next week.
Happy holidays. Boo that nasty ass food. God bless.